Hey, welcome to class. Collect all the toys. I'm going to start laying on the roller with the ball between your thighs and the magic circle above your head like a halo. So I'll show you how that goes. It'll be sort of vertical on one of the handles, and then your two hands are going to be on top of it behind your head. Thumbs are with the fingers. The heel of the hand is sort of what holds the handle on top. And then the fingers reach out long behind you, the arms are up. So be sort of in a tricep position here. The legs apart at hip width, maybe 4 to 5 inches, and the ball between your legs. And then from here, the first thing we're doing is we're just going to bend at the elbow to push the magic circle down into more of an oval. And you want to feel that work happening in the arms, but also into the upper abdominals, right under the chest wall. And then you slowly bring the hands up and you feel that connection right around your chest diminishing. So feet apart about 4 to 5 inches, just like the knees of the ball. But we're not really thinking about the ball, we're thinking about pushing down into the circle slowly as you inhale, and then slowly release it out and up as you exhale. So this way you want to start to feel the connection from your head to your core. And then that sensation diminishes as you lift the arms, starting to open up the elbows a bit. And it's also helpful if you pull the elbows sort of in closer to each other instead of wider, right? So the space between the elbows might be the width of your skull. Are you all feeling that work into the upper arms and again into your abs? Oh, it's the palms on top, if that's possible. And you're pushing into the heel of the hand, not the palm. Right, so you want to get that bony support there at the base of the hand, right above the wrist. Or below the wrist, I guess, depending on which way you're putting the hands. And then exhale, so. Or distal from the shoulders. Push, and then open slowly. So the goal here is to build the increasing press of the hands, but an increase knitting together of the upper abdominal muscles right under your chest. And then you pay both of those areas out a little bit at a time. And we'll do it once more. Inhale down, exhale, slowly release. And now just let the hands rest, holding the magic circle in position. So inhale, squeeze the legs into the ball. And exhale to open. And then feel, of course, as you press the ball with your legs, you can feel the inner thigh muscles work, but then you also want to feel the lower abdominal muscles knit together across the low front of your torso. And do that again, pressing. Exhale and releasing. And press. I'm so sorry your schedule changed.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I forgot I had an appointment. I totally forgot about it.
Well, at least you're gonna make the appointment. That's good.
I'm so sorry. I'll be back next week.
That's great.
Thank you. So sorry.
All right, and now we're adding squeezing the ball and also pressing through your hands. And then you open the angle of the arms, you open the knees a little bit. So you're going to feel that you're gradually increasing the work into your center and then gradually decreasing it. I'll just do that 2 more times to light up the whole center of the body, the abdominal wall, the core work here. And then open these a little bit to lift the hands, diminishing that connection to your center. One more time, press the ball, press the circle, and then open out slowly here. All right, so now we'll take the circle and reach the hands up to the ceiling. And again, you're holding it between the heels of your hands. Fingertips lift to the sky. And you want your elbows as straight as can be. So try to reach forward and up with the thumbs and maybe tip the pinky edges back a little bit. And then you're pressing in from the upper arms. So it's not about how much you squeeze the circle, it's about how much you feel the work on the inside line of your arms and particularly the upper inner arms, right around the rib cage. Because of course you can make the circle really squashed if you bend your elbows and push into it, but that's not what we're doing. We're trying to feel that length as you reach up with the fingertips, slightly tipping them forward and away from your face. So it's a straight wrist, and then sinking the blades around the roller. Squeeze to feel that inner arm line engage, and then slowly open. And you can add the squeeze into the ball as you squeeze the circle. And then open the legs slightly as you open the circle slightly. So we press in thighs and arms, and then release slowly. With once again, and one more time, inhale, press. And exhale and expand slowly. And just bend the elbows for a second. Bring the circle parallel to the chest. And then we take it up again and bring it forward about 30 degrees or so. And again, let the shoulder blades get heavy. And now squeeze the upper arm here around your chest wall. And then open it again. So we're going to squeeze. And then open. Press. Arms and legs. And then releasing, take your time. And again, to press in. And expand here. And one more time like that. And then again, bend your elbows. Just release the muscle work right there, and then extend the arms out. And now go down about 45 degrees. Go long through the fingertips, away from your shoulders, away from your chest, and press in here. And then open, take your time. So inhale, hug the circle with the upper arms. The hands follow suit, and then you release. And let's do that again. Inhale, press in. Exhale, open. And then press, go long through the fingertips. And exhale, release it. Remember, super straight elbows. Just firming up that inside line of your arms, and then releasing, and one last time. And push. Exhale, open. And again, bring the bar in towards your chest. It's floating just above, elbows wide. We roll the shoulders a couple of times here. And then we're going to extend the arms forward and lower down so that the circle is just above the pelvic girdle. And again, lengthen to the fingertips, pull the blades down, feel the edges of your shoulder blades around your roller, and then press, release, press again, and slowly open. Do that here, pressing in, and opening now. Two more like that. Open, and one more time. Long exhale to open, and then you can put the roller down at your side and take the ball out if you want to. All right, so just open the arms out, back of the hands to the ground, and then rock back and forth here. You'll probably feel good because we did a lot of work on the inner line of your arms. Now you get to stretch that. So rocking from one side to the other, massage the inner line of your shoulder blades. There around your sacrum. The occipital ridge on your skull. And shift the weight from one foot to another. Feet tipping here and then coming back through center to tip in the opposite direction. Okay. And then let's take the ball back between your legs. check it out, so you're still squeezing with the inner thighs. And let's just keep your left foot grounded, fingers touching the mat, but the hands, the wrists, and the elbows off. And extend your right knee. So you're straightening that leg out, holding the thighs in the same plane, and then bringing that foot back underneath you and switching to the left. So now the left leg lifts, the lower leg, extending the leg. So one leg is straight, that's the left one, the right knee is bent. And then bend that left knee, the feet parallel to each other, so maybe 4 or 5 inches apart. And then we alternate the legs. So one leg goes up and out, and then it folds back underneath you. And the goal is not to pick up the knee, right? To just like hold the thigh steady and just lengthen the leg so that the line of your shin continues the line of your thigh. That leg goes underneath, and one more set. Reach the leg out here, pull it back, and now here for the left. Let back in. Good. So now let's slide the hands forward, lift your head, neck, and chest. We're coming into an upper up curl to pump our arms here. So if you want to hold one hand to your head, you can do that. You're looking down the nose into the abdominal wall. And you have a little freer movement here, but you can take the hands a little higher and also lift the hands a little bit lower. So make an active pumping. You're pulling forward here, just the tip of the blades, hold the roller. All right. And now we're going to try extending the right leg forward and out while you pump. And then bring that foot underneath you. Oh, it's glad to get back. And then extra weight in the left hip as you extend the left leg out. And then fold it here. Let your foot suction cup into the ground. And we inhale, right leg extends. Squeeze the ball, that'll help you find your center. Pull the leg under. And now the left. And pull it back. We made it. Good. I wasn't sure how that was going to go. Good job. All right. And then put the ball aside. And we're just going to slide off of the roller here and take it across under our shoulders. Good job. Thank you for trying that. Okay, so propping yourself up, the roller right under the tip of the blade. We curl the tail up, we press the waist down, we pull the elbows together and in towards the navel. And look down your nose towards your belly. And then we start to bring the gaze across the roof, across the ceiling, arch the spine here, and the tail drops into the ground, again, still supporting the base of the skull, the weight of the skull. And as you come up, lift your head with your hands, tip the head forward, the elbows draw narrow and point down and towards the navel here. And then we're arching back, so both ends of the spine move, so your tail goes down into the ground, your head falls backwards into the support of your hands and your fingertips. And then exhale, tip it forward as you curl the tail over and stretch the low back. We feel it spreading here around your side joints. And we'll do one more. Inhale back into extension. Elbows fall wide and down. We'll open up your chest. And then exhale, narrow the front of the chest, widen the back as the elbows pull down and in, and you look into your abs. Then we're still supporting the head. You can push into your feet and lift your hips up. And we're pushing and pulling with the legs to go along the length of your rib cage, right? So to the base of the ribs and then to the top of the shoulders, but not onto the neck. So you push and pull here. And as you push away from your feet, your inflection, upper arm curl. And as you pull the knees forward, you lift your hips and drop your head. You're in extension, hips high, and then push back and forth a couple more times. If moving the spine in flexion extension is confusing, just go in a plank back and forth. But adding the flexion extension gives you a deeper release into the muscles in the upper back, shoulders, and also helps release the neck because of that, even though the neck is not being directly rolled on. And then we can come back with the hips down. And now we'll rotate to the right first. And then to the left, keeping the hips grounded, just twisting the upper body. And twisting it over here. And then to the other side. Your gaze headed towards that lower elbow. The neck also is rotating as you twist through the thoracic spine through the torso. And after going to the left, come back to center. And then you can lift a little bit and we'll push the roller further back. So it'll be under your neck. Hold the roller between your hands, feet widen, knock your knees in together, and just slowly turn your head side to side and a deep tissue massage into the base of the scalp and the neck itself. And you might feel like if you need a little bit of extra work in any particular place, right, you could stay at that spot and then do micro movements side to side or up and down, the little circles. Just release the area before you focus in on releasing one specific spot that is stuck or just like totally stagnant here. And take a moment to just explore this. You can also bring your gaze up a little bit higher, so you're going to go above the occipital ridge. Or you can tuck your chin further down and going almost underneath the occipital bone here into the upper neck. And just see like where you feel you need a little more release, where you're finding a little more resistance. Okay, and then polish that off. And we'll take the roller and slide it across under your legs here, right by your tailbone. Stand in your feet, lift your hips, and bring the roller across under your sacrum. It's really pretty much the widest part of your hips. And then you want to hold it there. Be sure it feels good when you press down on it. And hold it into your chest. So from this point, with both legs up to the ceiling, stretching the hamstrings, feeling that length from your heel to your sits bones. And now we pull the right leg back and the left leg forward into a scissor switch. And we'll inhale to switch the legs. And exhale to switch them again. Now when the leg goes up and back, maybe you need to bend the knee a bit or a lot, but still try to get to the place where you feel the stretch in the back of the leg, in the hamstring muscles, and still reach far enough forward and down with the other leg that you feel a little bit of lengthening and opening across the top of the hip. Don't forget to keep the arms active so the roller doesn't slip out from underneath you and away towards the end of the mat. And then from here, both legs up in the air, exhale, rotate. And let's start with the left leg up and take the right leg out to the side and down. Left hip is heavy. Exhale, pull the right leg up nice and slow. Tap the heels, and now the right leg is vertical, the left leg goes sideways. Draws the arc down from the top of the rainbow and then comes back up. Do it deliberately so you're not just collapsing and letting the leg fall to the ground and then throwing it up with momentum. You want to feel the work every inch of the way, whether you're going up or down. And the right leg is vertical, the left leg goes out and down, slides down that icy hill, and then comes back up. And then the right leg out and down. Draw that arc in the air and then pull it up. One more for the left, while the right leg is stable, the right hip is heavy. And then lift to bring it up. Externally rotated legs go sideways, they go out and down. And then you pull them up and together. So you're paying out the inner thigh muscles to lower the legs down and apart. And then you're pulling those upper inner thigh muscles together, engaging them to lift the legs, the feet high to the ceiling. Two more with this. Inhale to go all the way out and down. Exhale to pull the legs together and bring them up high. And we can do one more of these. Out, down here. And then exhale to lift. Good. So bend your knees and exhale, lower the feet down. Lift your hips and change the position of the roller underneath you. So just rotate it here. Find a fresh spot. And now we'll extend the right leg forward and the right arm back to keep it stretch across the right front line of your body. Breathing in and then exhale, breathing out. And obviously adjust your arm as you need to for your shoulder if there's any issues there. Even if you're just a little tight in the chest, the arm might come out to the side a bit more instead of being more parallel to your neck, to your head. Inhale to lengthen from fingers to hip bone to toes. And exhale to release the back and let it sink towards the floor. One more breath in. Exhale it out now. And then we bring the arm back beside the foot back in. Now switch out the left. You want your breath to be nice and slow. Perhaps really a slightly shorter inhale and a longer exhale for more of a sense of release and calm here. And notice where you feel the stretch, because that will give you the clues about where maybe you're tightening your body during the day. One more breath in. Exhale, release that out. And now let's bring the legs in and bring them up. Pull the knees in. And let's move into a frog position. Heels together, toes apart. The knees apart, also the width of your chest. And then inhale, push the heels up and out or together as you stretch the legs out and long. And then exhale, frog back in. So if you want to go directly to the ceiling, that'll give you more stretch in the hamstring. If you're more interested in feeling some work in the low abdominals and that low core, the legs go out on the diagonal. Reach across the room and just be sure that when you go out, you feel the abs working, but you don't feel like the back is overarching or at risk. So you push on the inhale and you retract the heels in on the exhale. And there's a little bit of press from the right edge of the heel to the edge of the left heel. The inner heels are pressing in. So you feel some work through the inner thighs. Go long and exhale, pull back. If it doesn't feel right, try a different angle. Switch it away and exhale, pull back. And now let's bring the legs together, the edges of the feet together. And we're thinking arches. So curl the toes down, think of lifting the arch of the foot into the top of the foot. And you slide the toes out into space. And then you pull the knees back in over your chest. So you reach away, you feel that length, that stretch, and then you pull it back. And you're trying to maintain the arch of the foot really lifted as if you were holding a small ball in the curve of the arch of each foot. This will give you a nice stretch across the top of the foot and the top of the ankle. Legs zippered in, knees together. Do the whole thing if you can, for inner thighs. You push out and then you pull back in. And we'll do that once more. And have the glide the legs forward, toes soft. Exhale, coming back in. And now flex the feet and reach out through the heels. The toes are curled back and in like they're trying to touch your shins, touch your kneecaps, and then pull the knees back in over your body. So push it out and away. Go to a place where it's challenging for you, but you're not overworking, right, into your back. So you reach out long and you pull back in. And you maintain the flexion of the ankle the whole time, regardless of what the knees are doing. Reach and stretch. When you straighten the knees completely, you work into your quads. And you should have like a pretty low grade engagement into your core here. Can you all feel that? The arms are also pushing down and maybe back a little bit into the roller to confirm up the inner arms and feel some work in the upper abdominals there. All right, now we're going to send the legs straight up towards the ceiling. So arms at that way, so here, go to a soft point. And then we curl the toes down and then flex at the ankles. So you go up to the ball of the foot and you point the toes. And you curl the toes back and you roll the ankles to lift the heels. So you want to stretch the front line of the leg up into the toes. And then we're going to stretch from the heels to the sits bones as you curl the toes down and ankle flexion. One more time, point. And then flex. And then a soft plank, bend your knees and exhale, lower the feet down. Lift your hips off the roller, we take it off to the side. And we'll reach your legs. All right, so as you stretch your legs out, let's just hold the magic circle again between the heels of your hands. And see if you can feel if your collarbones are wide, your shoulder blades are grounded. And you're just gonna press from the armpit and feel that work as you squeeze the circle, go along the inside line of your arms into the chest wall, right? So when you do this, you're actually going to engage more muscles in your core. So just try pressing slowly and releasing slowly to feel that. We're going to use this to help us do our roll-ups. I don't know where the frog in my throat came from. So anyway, so let's start laying down. Take the arms back here. So you're holding it lightly so far. You start to lift the arms, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Now before you come up with the ribs, squeeze in with the arms to come up and see that it helps you lift and feel connected into your abs. You can release the circle a little bit as you try to dive your hip forward through it towards your toes. And then we're taking this back. So we curl the tail forward. We start to lift the arms to a place where you are challenged but maintain control. Squeeze into it before you lower the upper body down, and then take it behind you, releasing it a bit. So we're just using the connection here from the hands to the armpits to the abs. It's really hand to tricep to lat to serratus to external oblique. So you're going to find that connection from both of your hands into the center of your core. And you're diving over, using that press to the circle to help you find a deeper connection, a little more work in your center, to give you more control on the way down, and a little bit more work in that abdominal line. Kind of release it at the end, and you start to lift it. You squeeze when you want to, the shoulders down your back, and up. Then over, suck your waist back. Big curve here, like a C curve with a horseshoe on its side. And then we're taking it back here. Opening up the shape, and then floating it down into the ground. All right, and now here, let's bend your knees. And take the circle above your knees into sort of like a pretty fleshy part of the inner thighs. And then you can walk your feet in a little closer so the knees are still a little more open here. And as you lay here, find the natural curves of your spine. Your sacrum is heavy, the blades are heavy, the skull is heavy, but the neck and the lumbar curve are floating off of the ground. And as you inhale, squeeze the circle, press into it, and then exhale and slowly open it. Imagine you're trying to push into the circle, but it's trying to expand. So create a little bit of resistance here. So inhale, we're going to press. Squeeze there. Like actually to press until you feel the legs start to find a tremor. And then exhale and slowly expand. As the breath leaves your lungs, the belly sinks down, the knees open. So inhale, squeeze in. And then exhale, slowly open. Take your time. And we'll do that one more time. So inhale, press in. And then exhale and open slowly. Now we're doing the same movement, but with a 2-breath pattern. So inhale to squeeze. You'll hold the legs there as you exhale and pull the navel deep towards the spine, the belly draws down. Inhale, squeeze more. You found your second gear. And then you exhale and slowly open. And we'll do this again. Inhale to press. Exhale, breathe out. The navel knits in towards the spine. Inhale, squeeze again, a little harder. And exhale and open it. Find that resistance. You're not just popping the knees open because the circle is pushing you in that direction. And again, inhale, press in here. Deep full breath in to the bottom of your lungs. Exhale, try to expel that air out as you hold the circle. Inhale, squeeze harder. And now exhale and then release. Beautiful. One last one like that. Inhale to press. Exhale, belly deepens. Navel to spine. Inhale, squeeze it more. And now exhale, slowly release. Good. And then we'll take the circle out and we'll take the legs inside of it. So now the circle's on the outside of your thighs. Feet are a little bit wide here. And now as you inhale, we're going to pull the knees apart and press into the circle. And exhale, release it. So of course, holding the circle around your legs. So open here. And exhale, release. So we're firing up the glute med here on the outer thighs. And release out. And let's do that again. And one last time. Okay. Then now roll up to sitting. And we're going to take the circle here on one end, and then take your right foot up on top of it. So it's going to be above the ankle joint instead of sort of the lower calf. Right? And we're going to leave it here as we roll back down and up. So I know, right? So you want a little bit of press here. Try to have the knee straight. The other leg reaches forward. And if you feel like when you're going back, this leg lifts off the ground, you may want to just grab an ankle weight. But let's see how we go. So arms are forward, and then you curl the tail up. You start to roll your spine down. You're reaching out through both legs, but particularly the one that's on the roller. Yeah, good so far. And then we lift coming up. Exhale. It's substantially harder to come up without having both feet grounded. Right? So if you want to use a TheraBand on the lower foot, you could. And then we're going back down again. So roll your spine back down. You can also have your hands at your side, your elbows at your side, coming down here. And then lift to come up. Exhale, come forward, and maybe the hands along the legs. The first one's usually easiest, and then after that they get a little more challenging. So we're going to do this again. Curve down. You could press a little bit down into the circle, but reach out long to the center of the leg. And then coming up. Exhale and pull yourself up. Yes. And then we're going to switch the legs. That's actually a really advanced form of that exercise for work. Okay. So you want to sit up tall. Have just enough press into this for a little support. And then here we go back down. You also have the option of not going all the way, right? And then coming back up. particularly if you feel like maybe you didn't place it in the right spot to begin with. And then we're going to go either part of the way down or all the way down, reaching out through both legs. And then lift to come up, lift your head, neck, chest, exhale, and pull yourself up. Right? And then we're going down. I've also done this with like a large ball under the leg. So if you don't have a magic circle at home, I would still suggest everyone get one if you can. They're really versatile, and if you look online for them, they're sometimes called Pilates rings. And then one more. Come up. Yes. And then down we go. All right. And then let's pull it back in towards your hands. Let's do a roll up here, like we did previously. So within, squeeze the circle, come up. Seems easy after the last one, right? And now we're going to open the legs and do a seated spine stretch here using the circle. So I would say if you're tight in your hamstrings, you want to elevate your hips up onto a yoga block, or else bend the knees, or do both, right? So the thing with this is that, again, we're trying to get to the place, right, where as you press down into the circle, you feel that connection from here, like into your tricep, into the point here where the serratus connects in, and then all the way around here under the chest, right? And then to the other hand. So you're feeling that loop here in your body. And so as you take that forward, you're gonna lightly push down at first, we're tall, and then you overlap the hands as you bend the elbows, and you dive up, over, and down in an arc as you push the circle down. You want to feel that stretch out your back and engage your abdominals. And then as you stack your spine like you're coming up a wall, you're going to gradually lift the hands, opening the circle, and then pulling the arms from forward, right? So we're looking for that connection again. Number one, as you push down, you want to feel lift through your spine, up through your head. So if you feel that length, and then as you start to look down and bring the head forward to move the neck, and then the upper back and the mid back and the low back, you're pushing down to feel that connection from your hands into your core. And then press, coming up slowly, finding that lift like so. And I know it's harder, like the tighter your hamstrings are, the more you're going to feel like aggravated in your hip flexors, right? And maybe that takes away from your connection into your abs. So go ahead and bend your knees if you're feeling like that's the case for you. And then push and dive forward and over. This mimics what we feel when we use a piece of equipment in the Pilates studio called the chair, where you're pressing down onto like a lever here. That's the chair paddle. And then you come back on up slowly. All right, good. So let's go on out onto your side. We're still going to use the circle and stretch yourself out so that you can prop your head up. If that isn't going to work for you, then you can go to a straight arm with your head on your arm. But now from here, we bend the legs in and we take the circle above the ankle, between the two legs. Feel that connection and then slide the legs out. And I don't know, maybe 20, 25, 30 degrees from the line of your spine. And you have to have a light hold on it. Like if you squish it too much, it's going to come on out. If you don't hold it enough, it will also fall open. Yeah, that's good. So not on your foot or not right on the ankle bone, but above it. Yes. Okay, and then you want to lean your head back into your hands so you're not like tipping your chin into your chest and looking at your feet. So once you've got that set, you kind of try not to look at it. I mean, you can check it occasionally, but I don't want you to be curled forward with the upper body while you're doing this exercise. Yes. Good. That's good. And now from here, we're just going to press the top leg down and firm up the upper inner thigh, right? And then lift the leg slowly and still maintain control of the circle. It's helpful too with your hand on the floor in front of your chest that you're pushing into the ground as you squeeze. And then release the pressure There, like so. Good. Inhale to press. Exhale and open. And we do that again. Inhale, press down. Exhale, lift it slowly. And do that once more. Really think of your head pushing back into your hand and the neck elongating as you try to pull your head away from your feet. Now from here, we're really going to use the hand in front of the chest as you push down. You're lifting both legs to lift the circle up in the air. And then exhale, bring it down. So when you do this, there's a little bit of tip through the pelvic girdle. So you may feel this in your obliques. And then bring it down with control. So we lift, the bottom leg picks up the circle, the top leg also guides it up and holds it steady. So we're coming up with the legs, good. And down, and one more time. All right, now here we're going to switch. So you have to bend your knees in again, reach for the circle, and now we're taking the legs through. So above the ankle into the lower part of the calf, right? You push the circle apart to maintain the connection to your legs and extend the legs and then lower them down. And then once you have the circle grounded, you want to press particularly the bottom leg firmly in. And now what we do, we're going to, oh, and it's best if you can have like your legs connected to where the handles are.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Okay, so then go with where you are. Yeah. All right, so now we're taking the top leg up. You have to push the bottom leg down and then release the top leg. So we push up, and this firms up the lateral leg here, right? You can feel it. So you lift and then release down. Lift it again, push up into the ring, and then bring it down again, and one more time. Going up and exhale down. Now you want to be sure the bottom leg is firmly pushing the circle down, so when you lower the top leg, the circle is still vertical. Point your foot and slide the foot out of there. Lift the leg and take that top leg on top of the circle, on top of the handle, if that's where you are. And then from there, we're going to hold it lightly with the top leg and pull the bottom leg up and then the bottom leg down. Bottom leg lifts. You can push into your hand in front of your chest again. I find it's really helpful to engage like that oblique line and get the leg to lower and lift. Lift here and release. And this is an exercise where it's helpful to have enough padding under your hip, right? Sometimes you don't notice on one side, but you might notice on the other. At home, often we use like our Pilates mats on top of a piece of, a plush carpet of some kind. Or you can always fold the towel and take it under, or just, double up or triple up your mats. One more time. All right, and we're good. So we can pull that in, take the circle, and we're coming up to do the other side. Nice job. Who knew there were so many ways to torment people with a ring, right? All right, so let's see, this is going between the legs. Thank you, Lisa. And then we extend it out. That one's not good. Well placed. Okay. And then balancing on your side seam, we're going to press the top leg down and then slowly bring it up. Press into the ring, into the circle. Inner thigh working, very top of the inner thigh. And reach here. Everyone's doing great. I know this is awkward getting in and out of the circle. Push. Slowly up. Find a little resistance as you push down. And then take it up slowly, so you're paying up the muscles a little bit at a time. One more. Pull the head away from the tail and the tail away from the head. Try to find length in your body here. All right, then press your top hand into the ground. We're gonna lift the circle up with both legs and then bring it down. So we touch and lift. Exhale, resist gravity on the way down towards the mat. Lift it again. And exhale, bring it down. Again here to let it rise. And exhale to sink. And one more like that. Yes, good. And now from here, bend your knees in. And we're now taking the feet inside the circle, the legs inside the circle, above the ankle again. And you try to have the connection of your leg to the handle. And extend the leg out, and again, slightly forward of your body and your torso. And then the bottom leg is heavy. And then we're gonna push up with the top leg, firing up the glute med and the upper, like lateral hamstring and lateral quad. So we push up, we have to press down with the bottom leg as you're pushing up with the top one. Keep the bottom leg anchoring that magic circle here in the vertical position as you push up and as you release. And one more time. And then the bottom leg is still holding the circle as you lower the top leg. Bend that knee, point the foot, take it out and extend it out on top of the circle. And you find your connection, and it's a light press of the top leg. Don't really squash the circle because we want to lift the bottom leg up as high as possible and bring it down. To lift and release. Bring it up and down. Two more like that. Inhale on the lift, exhale. Lower with resistance. And one more time. Yeah, really good. All right, and then we can let this fall. And then come on up. Okay, so I'd like to do a little bit of standing balance here. So this is a good place if you're not really sure about this, to be standing by the wall, or we have that leg turn over here you could use. And then just be sure your toes are out of the way. Now you could also just use your roller as something to give you an extra little assistance here. And then what we'll do is we're going to take the magic circle, so it's standing on one end, and then you take one foot up, lightly on top of it. So you can't have a lot of pressure into the foot, because if you do, it's going to slide out from underneath you. So we would lightly push down just a fraction, and then bring it up. Press down just a little, and then lift it. So a light press, look straight ahead if you can. The further your focal point is, across the room, maybe out into our campus, the easier it's going to be to balance. If you look at a really close point, it's harder to balance since the muscles in your eyes tighten up. Hi, thanks for coming. Also, arms out to the side might be helpful. The tightrope walker has those long poles. Our trimaran has those long pieces out from the main part of the boat. Right. And then we're going to switch. So lower that down. Shake out your hips a little bit. And then we can switch sides. And I also find it helpful, like if the standing leg is in slight external rotation, it just gives you a little wider base of support. So. Sort of taking your time to get organized. But then whenever you're ready, you can start the press and the release. Like press down. Keep a small movement here. Hips should be level. Remember too, often when we pick up the knee, we elevate the hip on that side. So you want to still think whichever leg is lifted, you are sort of imagining like an invisible leg under that sits bone, or that sits bone dropping to the ground a little bit to keep your waist equally long right to left. And small press, exhale to lift it up. You can also image that when the knee lifts, the sits bone is dropping down. It's like kind of like a seesaw effect here. So you want more weight into the glute as the knee comes up. That prevents you from hip hiking on that side and falling over to the other side. Okay, good. And then lower that down. All right. And then again, swing your hips a little side to side. So now we're going to take the circle between the legs right over the ankles. And have a light press in. I think this is often easier to do this one. So we're going to shift the weight onto one leg. And if you want, you can have your toe to the ground, or you could have the toe off, and maybe the arms out to the side, or hold your support. And we're going to squeeze the leg in and bring it out, while you look straight ahead. So again, here we're working those upper inner thigh muscles, and also working on our balance skills. So think your foot that's grounded, really let it widen and sink into the ground, like it's sinking into quicksand that comes up your leg, over your knees, up towards the top of your thigh. Sometimes, of course, you can think of your foot like growing like a deep tap root, and then lots of other roots going out underneath the whole town here. And then we close it just a little bit to shift your weight, stand on the other leg, the other foot. And then as you're ready, you pick up the other foot, or you can let the toes slide across the floor as you bring that leg to squeeze the circle and release it just a bit. Press and release. Just a couple more. Okay. And then both feet grounded, release the circle. We'll be great today. Thank you. Sorry, thank you for playing. I know a lot of that is really difficult, right? Getting into the position with the circle and then finding the balance work. But the thing I think with balance is like you have to keep practicing so you keep improving it. Right. Yeah. So even if it's not like 100% like perfect, just doing it, you're improving your balance. Because now, like, if you try, like, put the circle down and just stand on one leg, it's going to be so much easier because, right? Like, you just really, like, woke up your whole body for all those balance receptors, and you're getting, like, you've improved the proprioception. Exactly. Yeah. And the feedback loop, right? Yeah. So by doing something that's a little past our capacity sometimes, that really makes it easier to do something that we really are interested in, right? So anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate all your efforts. Good job.